Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sly, Flo. So, Flo, TJ Houshmandzadeh. For those of you back in the day, remember TJ, who's your mama? Back, amazing commercials back on ESPN when I think ESPN used to be like the best, man. Now it's kind of whatever. But he was on with Chris Broussard, your boy, and he kind of went in on Kyle Shanahan. Let's check out this clip and then we'll talk about it.
And you had some harsh words in your tweet for the San Francisco 49ers coaching staff. So I'm going to read it, and then I want you to respond. This is your tweet. I'm sorry. Kyle Shanahan, and Steve Wilks, the defensive coordinator, called a terrible game. Got away from the run early in the second half, and it cost them. Wilks was just as bad, if not worse. So tell us what you're referring to. And you obviously think, do you feel like San Francisco gave this away more than Kansas City took it?
1,000%, 100% the Niners gave the Super Bowl away. Now, let's kind of go through the game.
Yeah, let's do it because I'm with you. It was ridiculous.
Let's
It was
kind of
bad. Go ahead.
game. So, Patrick Mahomes throws that interception, right? Right after in the third quarter. It's about the 49-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, near midfield.
They had it at Kansas City's 44.
Okay, 44.
Starting it, yep.
The 49ers had tremendous success running the ball. Now, they weren't gashing them, but they're getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop.
Why wouldn't you run it?
They pass, and then they punt. If you run the ball, at worst, you're getting a field goal out of it. At worst, now Moody has to make it the low extra point. It looked like he was going to miss it anyway. But run the ball. What are you doing? Run the ball.
No.
And he comes out and he throws the ball. They lose yards and they have to punt. And it's like, what is going on here? He didn't get back to the run till midway through the fourth quarter. I mean, they literally were just coming out, just throwing the ball.
Every down.
And this is the third time. The third time Kyle Shanahan, as an offensive coordinator or head coach, had a double-digit lead in the Super Bowl and lost it.
And it's only happened seven times.
And he's done it 3 times.
In the history of the league, and he's done it 3.
If you think about the negative yardage plays, which goes against the average, but for the most part, they were effective running the ball. They ran it 31 times. They probably should have run it 39 times. They probably should have run it 39 times because that was the key to the victory. This Kansas City defense is good, very, very good. And so when you have them on the ropes, you have to take advantage of it. I felt like the 49ers literally gave that game away. When the Chiefs defense needs a big play, a big stop, we all know if you watch football, Spags is going to blitz you.
Yep.
He's going to blitz you. But you go empty, run a fake jet sweep to McCaffrey. Yes, Jawan Jennings was open, but nobody blocked. Nobody said, "Oh, we're not going to block the best player on the Chiefs, who is Chris Jones."
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Why get in that formation where you're in a spread and nobody in the backfield? Like, why in that? You know he's going to bring pressure. This is what he does.
What do you think of Shanahan's decision to take the ball in overtime? A lot of people being critical of that.
He said that's what his analytics department said. I don't believe that. I believe he just didn't understand the rules.
But some players have come out and said that they didn't know. I mean,
players
I
definitely.
don't believe that. All you got to do is read.
So you think he thought if they get a touchdown, they win it?
100%. Nobody. Listen, man. Listen. Who in their right mind would do that? Who's going to take the ball first? Not only you always want to play defense because you get an extra down and you know exactly what you need. Why would you take the ball? That makes 0 sense. And that's why he took the ball, because he thought it was sudden death. You think he's going to get up on that podium and say, "Oh, I didn't realize it was sudden death"? No, he's not going to say that. He's going to put it on the analytics department, and then he's going to say to himself, "Oh, wow, that's probably a rule I should have been aware of." But he's not going to say that publicly because he knows the following day.
Egregious.
Exactly.
How about Brock Purdy? Where were you on his performance? Started off pretty good, a lull, and then at the end maybe play better. But overall, what was your overall grade for him? And can you win a Super Bowl with him?
Rob, I may be in a minority with this. Okay. I like Brock Purdy.
Okay,
I like him.
Nah,
He's accurate.
I'm with
you. He throws the ball on time. And if he wasn't Mr. Irrelevant, nobody would talk about all the bad plays that he makes. Everybody makes bad plays.
But some people are out on him now after the Super Bowl.
I thought he improved his stock in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm not.
I've heard a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people go like, "Oh, you can't win." Well, they just.
I mean, he didn't do. He played well.
No, I don't.
As a starter, he leads the team to a Super Bowl.
Right.
First 4 years as a starter, because when a quarterback doesn't have weapons, what is the first thing that the media says? He needs help. He needs weapons.
Yep.
He's on a team with weapons, and he led them to the Super Bowl. Because if he didn't have weapons, that would be the first thing everybody would say. I like Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I think people are on his head for no reason. And so his first year as a starter to lead a team to the Super Bowl, he did a hell of a job.
All right, man. So he kind of goes off on Kyle. And, I mean, watching other Niner content creators, probably about 95% are kind of with what TJ's saying. And I think most of the media, they're going in harder on Kyle. What do you think about this whole situation, man? And do you think, hopefully, I don't know, what do you think about it?
Well, to be honest, TJ's right, man. 3 times this has happened to him. Obviously, going back to his OC days with the Atlanta Falcons, that one was even worse. Obviously, these 2 were bad as being Niner fans, but that one 28-3, and there's no way you lose that game. All you have to legit do is run the ball pretty much every single time, and you win that game. Our game was still kind of close, and with the new rules, obviously points go up in a hurry, but at the same time, man, both times, this time Jabari Brown, he got that pick, put us in position, which TJ alludes to, but also Fred Warner did that 4 years ago in the Super Bowl. He also picked him, and what does Kyle Shanahan do? Start airing the ball out. Just run the ball, get yourself at least points, you know? It's that simple. Sometimes you got to take points when they're there. I understand putting the nail in the coffin, getting that 7, that helps a ton, but you got to get points every single time you get the ball. At least to kill momentum, kick off, get the kick return, let your defense rest too also. And that was one thing we were talking about also this game, that for some reason we felt in the second half he was going to go away from the run. And that's what he did. It wasn't until, like TJ said, the fourth quarter that he kind of got back to it. And speaking of the run, I understand Christian McCaffrey fumbled early, and that kind of got him nervous. But like Elijah Mitchell only touched the ball 4 or 5 times.
Probably less.
He should have been running too. He could have kept McCaffrey fresh. And when Mitchell does get the ball, assuming he doesn't get hurt, he usually gets a good chunk of yards. So if you would have had both those guys pounding that defense, that would have helped so much, because they were essentially just coming after Purdy because we weren't even running the ball. We were playing to their strength instead of our own strength. And obviously that came back and cost us, because we're not a team. We're saying, as great as Brock Purdy is, we don't want him back there throwing the ball 40 times. So that's what this game felt like. It felt like he was just back there this whole time trying to make something happen with our shitty-ass offensive line. So, TJ, he's right, man. But what do you think?
To me, it's like we've all been there, where we've all been in fights at club. I condone it, man. Don't do it. Don't be as dumb as we were. But, and then you have some idiot, one of your friends that always wants to start fights. And then one time you're like, finally, dude, you're on your effing own, man. You're on your own. If you get your ass kicked, you get your ass kicked. And they have to learn the hard way. To me, people are ripping them, and I'm going to just sit back and just watch at the end of the day. I'm not going to go out there and defend him and have my pom-poms out for him for, someone that blew three Super Bowls. It's just insane to me, like 3 times. And even in the Atlanta Falcons game, you have to remember that they're like, oh, they scored 31 points. No, they didn't. Remember, they had a pick 6, so they only scored 24 points. So for some reason, in these big games, we just can't put up big numbers. And I don't know. That was just, in the third quarter, just 3 straight 3-and-outs, right? Can't be happening. And to me, it's personnel too. It's like guys that we make videos all the time. We made so many damn videos on Samuel Womack needs to be out there because of his special teams. How many videos did we make? And people are like, why are you making videos on Samuel Womack special teams? Because Darrell Luter shouldn't be out there at the end of the day. We make videos on Spencer Burford, how this guy should have been cut in preseason, and it came back to bite us in the ass in the Super Bowl. So to me, it's like personnel. Like, dude, what are we doing, man? Guys that shouldn't have never even made the team. Isaiah Oliver. We kept saying he should not. We need cornerback help. And then what happens? We go out and we think Ambry Thomas is the answer. And the only thing I like Larry Krueger, but he's saying Ambry Thomas was good for us all season. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, I love him. He's like my favorite YouTuber, but what are you on crack? Ambry Thomas is hot garbage. We should have kept, dudes that got cut. And to me, like, personnel doesn't make sense. And obviously in big games, man, it happens over and over. Remember the Rams? That was heartbreaking. Yeah. We had 17 points a half at the end of the third quarter, and what happens? We stopped giving Debo the ball when Debo was on fire, and that's all we scored, and we lost the game. So in these big games, I don't know what happens with Kyle, where he just shrinks. He does good all season long. We're number 2 in offense this year behind the Dolphins, and then when the big game comes, it's just same old crap. So I can't keep defending him, man. I mean, I like Kyle, and I don't want him to be fired. Obviously, I know people are out there. I know D's telling me fire his ass. I mean, you could have another great coach, or then you could have a freaking Mike Singletary, Mike Nolan, Dennis Erickson. So I just don't want that. Jim Tomsula. We've had so many of those.
We saw what happened after Harbaugh.
Exactly. So I don't want him to be fired. I'm not that crazy. I know Grant Cohen's saying fire him, like banana hands and all this stuff. But I wouldn't go there. I'm not going to go there at all. But still, like, come on, dude. I just feel like he needs a mentor. Like, that's why I made a video talking about bringing in someone like Mike Holmgren out there who's not afraid to talk and, like, dude, Kyle, you're the problem. Like he did with Bill Walsh when he told him, dude, Bill Walsh, like, you're the problem. Pick a quarterback. And then that kind of changed everything. And that's why I say we got someone like Bill Belichick. That kind of would help too, because he's not afraid to stand up to Kyle. There's no one out there that stands up to Kyle. We saw what happened with Andy Reid. Travis Kelce only had 1 catch. He shouldn't have pushed him, obviously, but what happened after that in the second half, he went off. So, I mean, to me, that's what we do. We need someone that's not afraid. I wish Kittle was like, I know Kittle's like.
I was about to say that, because also Kittle didn't get the ball at all during the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know who was out there more than him? That I felt? Freaking Warner and Braden Willis. He was also in, cost us that big penalty when Mitchell had that first down. That goes back to that personnel thing. It just seemed like, I don't know what he was doing, but in these big games, he just he overthinks, I think. And that cost us again. And what were we going to say before?
Oh, well, I'm going to say, people don't come and call him out. Like, even Tom Brady, sometimes he would, like, tell Bill Belichick, like, dude, come on. Like, there's no one out there on this team that's telling them anything. It seems like everyone's afraid of him. At the end of the day, man, I don't know what it is, bringing players that, like, don't give a shit. Like, I want to win this game. I don't even want to bring this up, but even in 2020, when we were beating the Chiefs, remember the Honey Badger on the other team? He was chewing out his teammates. He was going off, and then what happened? They turned it around. I haven't seen that from our dudes, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a culture or what, but someone's got to grow some balls and tell Kyle, dude, knock this shit off. Run the damn ball. Don't be afraid. So I pretty much, with the media and everyone else, I kind of agree with them, man. Like, stop the bullshit. Like, all of a sudden we're going to win the Super Bowl, like, just because we're finally going to get one because Andy Reid got one. Like, it doesn't happen. Most coaches end up like Marvin Levy, who never win the damn Super Bowl. There's more coaches out there that don't win the Super Bowl. So to me, like, oh, we're going to get it. Just got to keep waiting. It's like, this was the golden opportunity, man. This was it. This was a Chiefs team that I think they're worst out of all of them. And they're injured, man. There was guys that were out. So it's like, damn, this was it. So to me, I think TJ Houshmandzadeh, he was on the point, man. He was on the point. He was on right on the mark about it. So hopefully something happens where he grows and there's someone that can mentor him, because at the end of the day, who has it been? Pretty much Mike Shanahan really hasn't had to, like, tell him off. These other guys like Holmgren, Bill Belichick, they've always had someone to look up to. They had Bill Parcells that probably was chewing their ass off. No one's ever chewed Kyle out. Not one coach has ever chewed Kyle out, because he's always, let's be honest, he's always had the silver spoon in his mouth. So hopefully someone's out there that could put him in check, but maybe it's too late. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think about TJ Houshmandzadeh's take. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time.
Peace.